All right, we started.
This is for you, JC. This first little 4 minutes is gonna be our test. So
Hope you're feeling warm up there.
let us
Dr.
know
Agala.
if you're reading us. Just shoot me a text.
It is
Yep.
very chilly out here.
Everything's playing through.
Sweet.
Just let me
Hi, Dr.
know
Abdallah.
if it sounds good on the radio. Testing, testing, 1, 2.
I know he sounds good to me. Right next to me.
Yeah, everything is sounding nice. We
Yeah.
got this wire, so if you watch one of us go down, it's because of this wire behind us.
That's some deadly consequence right there.
Yeah.
Is that Ollie? Where? Right there.
I kind of like the no
How
tent
close?
background
How
though.
close?
The early morning sky behind
I
us.
don't see him. Ollie!
Ollie!
Where? The guy standing right there in the shorts. Yo, Ollie!
Alright, does everything sound good, JC?
Ollie Simons! Yeah, that's him.
We will be back in about 3 minutes for our pregame show.
Hold on, I'll text him.
So we're gonna send you to.
Please reference the video board for the fire exits available. Tune into our radio partner, Talk.
No, he sees it.
Okay.
Follow WCCU Sports on Twitter for updates. Thank you.
Alright, so everyone test themselves. We'll do.
Testing, two. Testing. This is Cade.
This is
Test
Caleb,
1, 2.
one and only, the better Caleb Williams.
Testing,
I'm
testing.
gonna tuck this into my shirt.
This is Cole now testing.
This is Cade on the mic. Ready to get this started here. We still got half an hour to go.
Ready to get the show on the road.
It is a chilly day in Conway,
And
though.
it's a very chilly day in Conway.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mr. Simons, how we doing?
What are the odds?
Testing, testing.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing 1, 2. This is Cade on the mic. Hello, 1, 2.
This is Cole now on the mic. Is there an echo still for me, JC? JC? Testing, testing, testing.
It's blustery. Hands are very cold, but
Okay, so let's hop into the pregame then.
okay. All right.
So
We're lagging a little bit. Hold on. Slide over to the pregame.
oh, we are
Whoa!
lagging. That's an old photo.
Hold on a minute here. Give me just a moment. Let me fix that real quick. Hold on. We're taking the commercial really quick. Now we're good.
Okay,
Oh,
we
we're
have
really close
fixed it.
now.
And
Oh, this. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna go back to commercial. Hold on.
Welcome
no,
in, everyone. We are all set now. This is WCCU SN's special broadcast of the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We are 27 minutes out from kickoff now on this chilly day in Conway.
It's a normally chilly day here in the south.
I'm Cole. Here with me, my favorite twins, Cade and Caleb.
Love it.
How are we doing today, guys? Besides cold.
I'm juiced, man. This is the first ever like bowl experience for me, and doing it for the radio just makes it all that much sweeter.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it. So today we got an extra long pregame show. We're usually like 5 minutes before the game we get going. Well, today we were aiming for 30. It's going to be about 25 minutes here today. The topics are about to pop up to the right of me. There it is. That is what we will be covering today. And let's start off with showing some love to some of the smaller schools, some of the smaller bowl games that happened last week. The Celebration Bowl, the Jackson State Tigers won their first bowl game since 1971. Some love there. Let's give some love them.
I'm a very big fan of HBCU and their bands. Their bands are something else.
And good for Jackson State to return to a high stage post Deion Sanders.
I continue to go and watch the video from a while back of Southern when they were doing Still Fly, and the announcer dissed them when they're like, please stop playing when the ball's in play, and they go Southern, and they ramp up. Like, they play as loud as I've ever heard.
Actually, you mentioned something about Deion Sanders, right?
Yes,
They
yes.
actually lost the 2021 and 2022 Celebration Bowl with Deion Sanders. So without him, they actually won the bowl against a team they lost to a couple years ago. Moving on, I want to give a big shout out to Memphis. Shockingly, 4 straight bowl wins for the Memphis
Good
College.
for them. Good for Memphis.
They beat Power 5 West Virginia University. Abdallah back at the station. Not happy about
Sorry,
that,
Dr.
but
Abdallah, but we love when the G5 performs out here.
absolutely. We're a small school, so we understand that most of these schools probably get overlooked just like Coastal, so we got to show some love. The LA Bowl, UNLV beat Power.
Guy here. Every time we called out to him, students actually turn around and give us like a point. I always have a soft spot for Will McDonald.
Well, never mind. I'll take that back then. I feel bad now.
You can feel your way about him all you want. I have mine.
If you leave my team, you're dead to me.
That's
That's
fair.
how it goes. That's how it goes. That actually snapped UNLV's 24-year drought of no bowl wins.
That's
so
Good for them. And they
Good
just
for them.
hired Dan Mullen.
a lot of droughts being broke here.
They had a great year. They were just on the cusp of actually making the playoff this year. There was a lot of buzz saying that, a lot of stuff need to happen in front of them, obviously. It's not for them to make the playoff, but, coming off a great season, a bowl win is nice to build off. And like you said, the hiring of Dan Mullen,
Yes.
he's already had a very good history with Florida, I believe. Florida State. So let's see what he can bring to UNLV.
Absolutely. And now to the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
Oh, boy.
I know, these bowl names have
Very
some long
complicated.
names,
Very
some complicated names. Got to get the sponsor in there,
They've
though.
also changed a lot of, the sponsors have changed over the years.
All the time.
It's never the same every year, except for the Holiday Bowl. It's always DirecTV.
It's not even the same sponsor for like the Cure Bowl that when Coastal was at the last time. It's not even the same sponsor anymore.
Yeah, no, the names are changing all the time. But Sam Houston won their first FBS bowl game ever.
Good for them.
Over Georgia Southern. Sam Houston only joined the FBS ranks in 2023, just a year ago. So
Yeah.
it's accelerating instantly, really.
Wind kicking up here a little bit, but no, it's great to see these schools that are making the jump from the FCS to the FBS level to having such great performances early on. We saw it with JMU. We have yet to see it with Kennesaw State, but I have high hopes for them as well. Good for Sam Houston. Good for, I think, there's CUSA.
Yes.
It makes their
Conference
conference all that
USA.
much stronger.
Absolutely. And then finally, a bowl we're familiar with here as Coastals. This is the first bowl Coastal won, the Cure Bowl. Ohio sweeps past Jacksonville State 30-27. Keeps Ohio's streak of they've made 6 bowl games in the past 8 years, I think, and they've won all 6. So they keep it rolling too, just like Memphis. And they were actually last year's winner of this bowl here, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I was able to call that game last year. They had a very dominant performance.
I actually caught a little bit of the Cure Bowl back home when I was in Pennsylvania. It looked like Ohio had it for the majority of the time. Like they came out guns a-blazing. You had 2 quick touchdowns. They looked like they were about to take over the game. But I saw the final score and I was like, wow, they can almost screw that one up.
Yeah, they let Jacksonville State get back in that.
It ends a nice storybook season for Ohio, winning the MAC So Miami of Ohio by a large margin.
Yeah.
A lot of their veteran stars, like I think it's Parker Titsworth. He's been there since the beginning through a couple coaching changes. Great for him. Rooting for that guy when he finally declares.
Yeah, no, it's great to see Ohio beating Miami of Ohio. Big rivalry right there. Big rivalry
Biggest
for the
state
state of
rivalry.
Ohio.
What's your big thing about Miami, Ohio, and Miami?
So I've seen that. I know it's probably been circulated around, but I said that I think every 2 years, Miami, Ohio, Miami, the Hurricanes should face off.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that game, they have to whoever loses the game has to put the denotation of where they are.
They're the real you.
The real you of Miami.
I like that. That's a great idea. But let's move along now to this is something that grinds my gears.
Okay.
Players sitting out of bowl games. Let me just give you a quick list of players. Darian Mensah from Tulane, John Mader from Washington State, Fernando Mendoza from Cal, Miller Moss from USC, Malik Murphy from Duke, Jackson Arnold from OKU, Connor Wademan from Texas A&M, Tyler So from Louisville, and Caden Salters from Liberty. And these are all just quarterbacks. If you're a small school, you make it to one of the biggest games in your program's history, guess what?
Yeah.
Your quarterback had a good season. They're not playing for you anymore in this big game. It is just something that's crazy to me. I don't get why players don't want to be on the field during probably the biggest games of their lives. As I mentioned to you guys in the studio earlier, I would pay to play in these types of games.
I agree. I think it has to do with the transfer portal opening up so early. These players have to get their name into the mix as soon as possible. Like you mentioned, Caden Salter, he committed to Colorado almost immediately after he had left, after he transferred from Liberty. It's a give and a take. You know, you have to make that commitment before you actually go to the school, and if you make that commitment, you can't really play in the bowl game. And I also get that you're looking after your health, like if you're a projected first-round draft pick or second-round draft pick, looking after your health, I think it would better suit you to play in that game because the coaches want to see how you perform in the greatest pressure situation for you.
So that's what you mentioned about the transfer portal. I have no beef with the transfer portal. I think it's a good element to college football. But like you mentioned, I think that it should open later, after bowl season, after the playoff. It should be an off-season thing. It should not be right in the middle of bowl season, right in the middle of playoff season. And it really damages some of these schools because we've seen a lot, in this most recent cycle, a lot of these schools win either their first bowl game ever in the FBS level, their first bowl game ever as a school, or their first bowl game in multiple years.
Yeah.
So I think college football would benefit a lot more if the transfer portal opened later, as well as it also closes earlier.
I see where you're coming from with that, but it's also they're also students first. Like if you're a student athlete, you're a student first. They have to get them transferred and get their documents and get their registration done before the spring semester registration closes.
Now, here's the thing. You say they're student first. I get they have to get all the transcripts over and all that. But the thing is, they're transferring because of the athletic opportunity.
That's very true.
Like Salter transferring from Liberty to Colorado, that quarterback position opening up now with Sanders probably going to the draft. And then same now with Vasco transferring to Liberty. That opened up because Salter was transferring. He transferred and went to the open position. Yep. So I get their students first. I get they have to get the transcripts done. They have to get all their whatever. But it's not. They don't transfer due to the academics. They transfer because it's a new athletic opportunity. And that's why I think the transfer portal should be open a lot later.
And to add to that, they're also, even at the smaller schools, the best athletes on the team, they're still getting paid. I think if you're getting paid, you should play as many games as possible.
Yeah.
If you're paid to be here, you should be on the field. That's just my thing. Also, if I was another team's coach watching my player I just recruited to come over here and I saw them sitting out of this bowl game for their smaller school, what's to say that's not going to happen to me next year?
Let me add another, can I add another layer really quick?
Go ahead.
Let me add another layer to that. If you are under scholarship for your school, you should not be able to transfer until after the bowl game. You should have to play because you're getting paid to play. Your school's getting paid for to play here.
Yes.
Now it's different if you're not under scholarship, and if you're getting offered a scholarship to transfer, that's a whole other ball game.
Yes. Like you mentioned NIL and stuff like that. I believe if you sign an NIL contract, you should have to, unless you can negotiate terms to get severed from that contract with the NIL deal, you should have to play for that school for the duration of the contract, so that it teaches athletes an early it gives an early lesson in contract negotiation. Like, if you don't see yourself at this school longer than 2 seasons, don't sign an NIL deal that's 3 years, because all you see is dollar signs. You have to, actually look into the future for yourself and what's better for you.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff they still got to hammer out with the NIL and the transfer portal. They're still working on it. Still relatively new. It's just something that grinds my gears. It seems like you guys agree with me.
It's just like he does. I don't have to be with transfer. I don't have to be with NIL. I think they should get paid for their name, image, and likeness. I think student athletes should get paid for that and get compensated for these colleges making millions of dollars off their name and their image and their likeness.
Now, I would like to say that I think the salary table should be different when it comes to an athlete that is under scholarship and an athlete that is not under scholarship. It should be looked at a little bit differently, because you can still be performing as a high tier athlete. They either just don't have the money for a scholarship for you. You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I think the salary table should be a little bit different when it comes to that. I'm not going to go full Saban and say the NIL is bad for college football. It's great for college football. I think athletes should get paid for their name, image, and likeness.
Absolutely. But we've talked enough about our frustrations with the transfer portal and all. Let's move on to the big games over the weekend, the college football playoffs. Did anything really shock you in the college football playoffs? I mean, no real upsets. Indiana was the closest, but still.
I think the committee got it right. I think people look at it as, it should be the best teams playing, and I think it needs to be mixed. Yes, you have the best teams. You want the best teams to play in that situation, but it's also the most deserving teams do deserve to go and prove themselves that they belong there. SMU was the team that deserved to be there.
Yep.
Indiana was a team that deserved to be there. I don't like how people are trying to justify putting a 9-3 Alabama or a 9-3 Ole Miss or a 9-3 South Carolina into the playoff because these teams got taken to the woodshed.
I'll say I agree with that. I don't see a problem with the new playoff. I think it's great for college football. It enhances the competition.
Yes.
I saw this on X. I know people have already said it before, but the biggest person GFed said something about it. Shout out GFed. It's not a problem with the formatting. It's a problem with the seeding.
Yeah.
I think that there should be more automatic buys. Like, obviously, conference champions should get automatic bye. At larges, they have to play first round and all that. And it would enhance competition because you're getting at least similar level teams, because you can't say that you can't sit there and say that a former G5 team in SMU, not too far removed from the G5, can compete with a Big Ten team like Penn State that has been a Big Ten school for like many, many, many years, and they've had a chance to build a program and build a culture and really make an emphasis on the recruiting trail, so that James Franklin.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a problem with the seeding.
Yeah, I'm also going to sit here and, first off, it's crazy how people were quick to say SMU doesn't belong or Indiana doesn't belong, but Tennessee gets blown out by Big Ten school Ohio State. Silence from Lane Kiffin, silence from the SEC fans, from the Alabama should have made it fans, because it doesn't fit the narrative. I think there is a heavy SEC bias in any selection committee across any sport, because overall, yes, they are the best athletic conference in the nation, by and large, by recruits, by coaching talent, by facilities, by budget. They are the best conference in the nation. However, because you're the best conference in the nation, that doesn't mean you should get preferential treatment over a team that deserved it more than you, because you get a little extra bump for being that prestigious conference.
Yeah, I fully am on board with that. I mean, if the original college football playoffs, we only saw the prestigious conferences getting love. I was cheering for SMU. I was cheering for Indiana. I want to see one of those smaller schools in there really get something done. So now I got Boise State and Arizona State.
I'm a Penn State fan, so you're going to, closest fan first, but Penn State was my first love. You're going to have to, I'm cheering for Penn State all the way.
Absolutely. How do you think this will play out throughout the rest of the tournament here?
As far as the tournament goes, I think now that we've gotten past the first round, you're hoping for the upset, but it's not really possible. Now I think that everyone's kind of evenly matched. I still think that Arizona and Boise State are at risk, considering the match of the team they're facing. But I do think that upset is way more possible with that. I think that Boise State can be that quote-unquote Cinderella team.
Yep.
Representing the G5, we love our G5 schools. Ashton Genty, who honestly, I think he should have won the Heisman. I get.
Me too.
I'm not going to go into the.
Don't get me mad at that either.
Don't get into the politics about that. It's been gone over multiple times. Not going to get into that. I think Boise State can be that team to really shake everything up and shake up what everybody knows about the G5.
I really hope so.
I think Arizona is a little bit more equipped. Cam Scatabo, he's really put a juice into that team. Their head coach is electric. His name slips my mind. But Arizona is a real threat. I picked them as my Cinderella team mostly because I don't want Penn State to lose to Boise State. Even though they're G5, I'm a big G5 fan. Penn State, I have to. But Arizona State, you got accepted to Arizona State.
I did.
Before you came to Coastal, you got accepted to Arizona State. So I do hold a little bit of special place for Arizona in my heart.
Yeah, no, I hope Boise State can get it done with all the Statue of Liberty plays again. But we're going to move on. The Sun Belt, actually, shockingly, past 3 years out of non-Power 5 schools in the Group of 5 conferences, best conference the past 3 years at sending teams to bowl games, as we've led all Group of 5 teams those years. And this year, 8. So far, there's only been 3 to play. Georgia Southern, we mentioned earlier, lost to Sam Houston in the L+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. But JMU won their first ever bowl game in the FBS. We know we all hated JMU, but
for them, especially as they put up such a fuss about having good seasons, not being bowl eligible, they got selected last season because they didn't have enough bowl eligible teams, and they still lost. Good for JMU though.
Yep.
I hold my feelings about Kurt Signetti. I had a great joy watching Indiana get blown out by Notre Dame, even though I do not like Notre Dame. But good for JMU, good for the Sun Belt. We are still the best G5 conference in my mind, even though CUSA is getting a little stronger with Sam Houston winning a bowl game. Other things like that. We're still the best G5 conference, and we're still the only conference that has divisions, which makes us automatically one of the best conferences.
we got the national anthem, so we'll be right back after this. Okay, we're back. National anthem was just played. We're 8 minutes out, but where we left off, Sun Belt teams winning bowl games. JMU won. South Alabama also won their bowl game against Western Michigan, 20-23. So the Sun Belt right now 2-1 in the bowl games.
That's very good.
That's very good.
That's the reports they put on last year, the amount of teams they sent. Honestly, there's a little bit of a fall off with the amount of teams we sent this year. A little bit weaker, but still the performances they put on so far. absolutely amazing for the Sun Belt, for the conference as a whole.
Yeah, still proven we're one of the best or the best group of 5 conferences out there in football. Let's take a look at the future games coming up. I just want to I'm going to mention the game who you got winning. The Ventures Bowl, Arkansas State versus Bowling Green.
I got Bowling Green that one.
Yeah.
As much as I love Sun Belt, as much as I love the Sun Belt, Bowling Green, they went toe-to-toe with Penn State early in the year. They put up a good fight against it. They put up a good fight every year. I think Bowling Green has that one.
Yeah.
I have to argue too.
Give me Bowling Green. They have an All-American tight end on their team. They are, like you said, they went toe-to-toe with Penn State. I also don't really much care for Arkansas State after what they did to Grayson last year.
Make it a sweep. I have Bowling Green. They literally have bowling in the title of them to win a bowl game. Let's move on. The Estella New Mexico Bowl. We got Louisiana versus TCU. This one's easy to me. TCU probably is going to walk away with this one.
Yeah, he's right.
Ooh. Give me. You know what? They were in the mix for potential playoff because they were doing so good in some. Give me the Cajuns.
The
I forgot TCU.
TCU.
I don't think they were ready to compete with the best of them.
Absolutely. The Radiance Tech Independence Bowl. We got Marshall versus Army. Army's had a great year. I think Army's going to continue. They lost to Navy, I do know that, but I think they're going to bounce back.
Good for Marshall. Marshall had a great year. No, wait, they're not facing. Marshall dropped out.
Marshall dropped out.
It's gonna be,
It's gonna.
who is it?
LA Tech.
LA Tech. Yes,
Louisiana
LA
Oh,
Tech.
well,
versus,
there we go.
Army.
I'm wrong about that. I didn't hear about Marshall dropping out. Let's forget about that one then.
Either
First,
way, I choose Army. My dad serves, so I'm going to pull for Army all the time.
absolutely.
Army 100%. Bryson Daly, I think he should have had some conversation about the Heisman. He put on such a great season for Army. He was a catalyst for what they did this season. Give me Army.
And last one, just First Responders Bowl, Texas State versus North Texas.
You know my Cats. Go Texas State.
Give me Texas State.
Texas State. I also got Texas State. As the players take the field, though, we're going to move on to Coastal Carolina, what everyone came here for, the Myrtle Beach Bowl between Coastal and UTSA. Both teams coming into today are sits and sits. Basically a home game for Coastal as we're in Conway on the surf turf still. Shockingly, a Sun Belt team has been represented in the Myrtle Beach Bowl every year so far since its inauguration 5 years ago. But who do you got and why? What is to account for in this game, really?
Yeah, I've been going first. You go first.
Okay. So, as much I do love Coastal Carolina, I have to get the edge to UTSA just for the sole fact that Coastal Carolina's coming in with a redshirt freshman quarterback, Tad Hudson. Now, granted, Tad Hudson, he put up 7,000 yards and 76 touchdowns in his time over there at Hugh Prep School, both school records. But he hasn't seen the field. He went to North Carolina. He transferred in from North Carolina, but has not seen the field just yet. And with all those transfers on our defense, I don't think that we could keep up with Owen McCown and a high-flying UTSA offense. Give me UTSA, but not by that much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say UTSA, but I'm also gonna say it's not gonna be particularly close. Coastal's defense has been a very, very weak point in their team. The offense, when it's lackluster, the defense is even worse. Especially, and we have so many defensive players in the transfer portal. Some already committed: Clev Lubin, Matthew McDoom, Will Whitson, and that run defense has been atrocious all season. If they don't button up the run, it's gonna be a long day for the Chants.
Yeah, the odds are definitely stacked against Coastal here today, coming in over 10-point underdogs in this game. It's not looking good for Coastal, as you guys mentioned. A lot of transfers, a lot of people sitting out in this one. But I've seen something. The stars might be aligning here today, as this is how it went the past 4 years. App State won, ODU lost, Marshall won, Georgia Southern lost. That means it's the Sun Belt year to win the Myrtle Beach Bowl once again.
All right.
Also, this is a sleeper fact that might hold UTSA back. 6-0 at home, 0-6 on the road. This is a home game for Coastal. So,
Technically, yes.
we could see that their away struggles show their ugly face again. And give me Coastal Carolina. And let's get MVPs. I'm going Braden Bennett. Running backs have dominated this game over the past couple of years. I think it's going to remain that way. Braden Bennett has a massive game. You guys got any players you think?
Yeah, I took UTSA, so I'm going to go with the obvious one, Owen McCown.
Owen McCown.
Son of NFL journeyman Josh McCown.
Love Josh.
if he does what I think he's going to do and light up this Coastal secondary, there's no chance. He'll go off for at least 300, 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I'm going to follow right along with you with the running back vein. However, I'm going to go with UTSA's running back, Robert Henry. With how bad Coastal's defense has been against the run and with the amount of transfers they've had, especially on the interior defensive line, Henry put up some great stats throughout the year. 706 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.4 yards a carry. I think that he's going to absolutely eat against this deflated Coastal defense. So give me Robert Henry as my MVP today.
Yeah, my heart wants Coastal, but my brain tells me the smart choice is UTSA.
Absolutely. Well, Coastal just won the toss and elected to receive, so we will see their offense first. But I think we got a minute 30 before this game kicks off, so we're going to go to commercial break. Thank you all for joining us for our pregame show. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back as Tate Sandell will kick it off for UTSA here. Coastal's offense will look to start strong here as they chose to receive the ball. And there's the kick, a little swift kick kind of, and it will trickle into the end zone for a touchback.
Line drive kick to start off here. We'll see if that comes to play later on in the game, because this wind is absolutely blustering here in Conway, South Carolina. It has its moments. It's been gusty. So the moment we all waiting for. Go ahead, Cole. Sorry.
You know, the wind is definitely going to be a factor. It's been a factor for us up here. We've been trying to block it out from the mics all.
In the shade on the high ground. It's a little rough up here, but we're making do. It's definitely going to be a factor today for freshman quarterback Tad Hudson making his first career start. And what a start it is in the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
You couldn't ask for a bigger game, couldn't you?
No, absolutely not.
Tad Hudson in the shotgun here. Braden Bennett to his right. Going to take a snap, but a penalty marker comes out before delay a game on the first play. That is not a good start for Tad. Getting the jitters out early, hopefully, though.
Yeah, absolutely not a great start. I have written as one of the keys to the game is you got to get your QB comfortable, especially behind an offensive line like that. Coastal's offensive line hasn't been terrible, but they have not been the greatest all year. So you want to get your quarterback comfortable back there. You want to kind of make the play look easy for him to kind of ease his way into this game.
Absolutely. Tad in the shotgun again. Going to take the snap. Going to hand this one off to Braden Bennett and get swarmed in the backfield by UTSA's defense. Brought down maybe at the line of scrimmage.
UTSA wearing what I assume is their battle blacks. They have full black uniform, white helmet, black logo with the full Roadrunner body.
I think technically they are the home team here today.
They are. Yes, on ESPN they are the home team, which is interesting.
It is weird to see Coastal out there in the whites on their home field, but
Yeah, teal, white, teal for Coastal, but this is the same uniform they wore when they were underdogs against San Jose State in the Hawaii Bowl last
Last
season.
year. Yeah, and able to pull off a dub there. But it's 2nd and 15 now from Coastal's 20-yard line. Got to get to the 35 for the first down. Tad in the shotgun. Braden to his right. Now motioning over to the left. And this is going to be a pass out wide, but a flag comes out for a false start as Coastal is shooting themselves in the foot here early.
Definitely not the greatest start here for if you're Coastal Carolina. 2 false start penalties right off the bat.
That one was on Kane Barone.
1 false start, 1 delay of game from Tad Hudson and the Coastal offense. As you mentioned, Kane Barong in now that Kendall Carr has hit the transfer portal. Definitely the perfect time for the freshman, not the freshman, sorry, for the tight end to step up.
And Tad takes the snap, pump fakes, and now looking deep downfield and fits it into the window to Jamison Tucker.
What a throw. What a throw. What a catch by Jamison Tucker. I wrote down on my notes to rely on your weapons. You have Jamison Tucker. You have Seneca McKee. You have Braden Bennett. You have the tools to succeed. Lean on them. You are new to the game. They will help you and they will support you.
That was a great first ball right there on a rope. That's actually Duplessis on the catch. The 6 and the 8 kind of look like.
He wanted a screen. He got
Tad Hudson
longer.
now moving in the pocket. Now going to take off for the first down on a 15-yard scamper.
been mobile out there.
The ball carrier
Looking good. Looking good right now.
takes it.
And that's perfect for what Coastal likes to run. They love to run a lot of option. They rather be a read option, RPO. And that's one thing they want to get going here today is that RPO. They've had a lot of success this season when running that, those specific plays. Exactly. And I was looking at the stats. Ethan Vasco had 4 more rush attempts than Christian Washington at 107.
Tad Hudson in the shotgun again. Putting his receiver in motion, going to hand this off to Braden Bennett, who's going to get swarmed in the backfield again by 3 defenders. That is brutal. I think the first one to make contact was Danye Taylor.
I'll say, as far as it goes right now to start the game, yes, you had those 2 penalties to start the game, but now they're starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. They're starting to prove that maybe you have to rely more on your pass offense rather than your run offense, because this UTSA defense is very stymied against the run already early on.
Takes the snap, looking downfield. A blitz is coming, and he is swarmed in the backfield for a sack. First to make contact was Braden Brown, the nose tackle.
And that's one of the mistakes for a young QB is that you see the pocket collapse and you just got to get rid of it. Kind of roll, see who can roll out and get rid of it. But unfortunately, he has to come off the field for a minute because he lost his helmet during the sack. So now they got to put in whoever our 4th string quarterback is, because Noah Kim is in the portal. This is Alex Walker.
Alex Walker.
He's a true freshman.
Let's see what Walker got. On
2nd and 18.
It's long run. Brought down in the backfield. My bad. I just lost.
You're
it.
good.
I thought it was 3rd and 18 because of the marker, so I got really confused. Yeah, it was.
It was 3rd down. On the video game for like a good couple seconds to get the game clock reset because it never started on the first snap of the game.
And now Hunter.
Very, very unfortunate situation there for Coastal. On a very, very crucial down, your starting quarterback loses his helmet.
Absolutely. And now Sabafon dribble in front of the return man, and now it's trickling down to the 20, to the 19, to the 18, and that's where it will stop.
18.5-yard line, 17.5-yard line rather.
Solid punt.
First down and 10.
Hitting UTSA deep into their own territory. But we will take a commercial break here and be back in 3 minutes. You're listening. as UTSA's offense takes the field, let's show them what their offense is looking like today.
Of course.
As it is led by Owen McCown, as you mentioned earlier, son of Josh McCown. I think he played for all 32 teams. I think it's 17, honestly.
So close, very close. Yeah, he's a Colorado transfer. This is his second season at UTSA, but his first season starting.
Takes the snap here and shotgun rolling out to his right, dishes it to his running back down low, and that's going to get 10 yards as he scampers to the sideline. That was Robert Henry.
That's my MVP right there. Down.
And they're running the hurry up as McCown takes the snap.
Down.
And they're running the hurry up as McCown takes the snap and hands it off to High again, who gets tripped up for a gain of 3.
They're definitely trying to take advantage of that depleted Coastal defense and trying to catch them on their heels, especially in the run. Take advantage of that depleted Coastal defense and trying to catch them on their heels, especially in the run.
Absolutely, as the communication probably isn't the best out there because of all the backups being in.
It's looking like another run here. UTSA just brought in 2 extra tight ends.
And McCown's in the shotgun, High to his left. Receiver in motion. McCown takes the snap, fades to High. Throws it to his receiver on a screen pass and a lot of green grass in front of him. And he breaks a couple tackles and brought down at the 40-yard line. That was a great play right there by Devin McCunn.
That screenplay was ran to perfection. That screen pass ran to perfection for UTSA.
Devin McCunn, I have him down as one of my players to watch. This is 2 seasons with UTSA. He's a sophomore, 40 receptions this season, 361 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
It looks like he might still be down on the field, though, right now, as the injury timeout stops play. And as this happens, we'll just go to a quick little break. Unless he's up. No, never mind. He's up right now.
He's walking off
He's
the field
walking
right
off
now.
the field. We won't cut to break then.
Shaking up a little bit after that monster run.
That monster catch and run right there.
Grabbing at his hip, it looks like. He was pulled down by the leg, so.
Could be a bit of a stinger. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it is rather
cold.
chilly out here, and we are standing in the shade.
Yeah, we are in the brunt of it right now.
I can imagine it's not that much better in the sun, but it can still be a lot better than what we got going on right now.
I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my feet.
I can't feel my toes.
It's awful out here, but McCown in a pistol formation here with High behind him. Gonna take the snap, fakes the handoff to High, looking downfield, and the pressure gets to him. A big blitz right there, and that was number 13. I'm trying to find it. Diamante Diggs.
And speaking of Diamante Diggs, I have him down.
I also have him down
as my player to watch on Coastal's defense. We talked about this earlier when we were in the studio. He shined actually behind Clev Lubin, getting himself a couple sacks. 4 sacks himself, 32 tackles, 5.5 for loss.
Pound takes the snap, swings it out wide to his receiver on a screen pass, and he gets brought down after a gain of 3. On the reception right there.
Almost. If UTSA wants to convert here.
Tackle made by the veteran Coastal player Shane Bruce.
Is David Amador the second on the catch.
He's the second.
Not a junior, he's the second. McCown now, shotgun, High, to his left. Takes the snap, looking out wide, finds his man at the 10-yard marker. Just can't get much more going. Pulled out of bounds.
Pulled out of bounds is an understatement. He was whipped out.
They said you're not going anywhere. And I can't imagine they're going to bring the field goal unit on the field because of how windy it is.
Yeah, it would be a 5th on the previous catch. Chris Carpenter.
Let's see it.
Now Carpenter in motion. McCown in the shotgun, High to his right. 4 receivers split out wide.
Fans are getting loud here. The Coastal faithful.
Not a lot, but the ones that are here.
Be out here in this weather.
Looking downfield, looking for his tight end. Now tucks it and runs himself. There's a flag come down. He dives for the first down and I think gets it.
There is a flag down, which may indicate there was a hold.
That is in the area of holding, I would think.
So they're saying he did not pick up the first down. That holding call is declined. The holding was on right guard Corey Yadanet. That's close to it.
And
Slur right
McCown took a huge hit trying to get that first down at the end.
Yeah, doing his best John Elway, kind of.
Took a helmet to the gut.
Yes. Gotta respect it, though.
I do
Leaving
respect
it all
that.
out there on the field.
I respect that heavily. I love players that fight tooth and nail for every yard.
As we will go to break. It is a TV timeout. So you're listening to WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina student-run sports network. Back after it. Well, welcome back in. Coastal's offense is taking the field. We're WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina Student Run Sports Network. Bringing you the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And thank you all for tuning in to us. But
You could be anywhere else in the world tonight. You're here.
yet you're here. And we appreciate that. Tad Hudson out for his second drive. Returns.
Turns for the first time since losing his helmet.
It's in shotgun. I think that's Braden Bennett to his right. Gonna take a snap. Gonna fake the handoff to nope. Bennett has it. And he gets a big hole up the middle and knocked down at the sticks. About the 40-yard line. Might move the chains. It's first down, Coastal Carolina.
What a run there by Brady.
Angry run by Braden Bennett.
Exactly. He's been stifled the last couple rushing attempts. You know there's some anger behind that one.
Yeah, you're not gonna push him backwards the whole game.
Little measure of revenge there.
And now we're in a wildcat with Bennett in the shotgun. And Tad split out wide. This is directly to Bennett. And he's going to get 4 yards here on the cherry, maybe 3.
That was a good little chip down there.
That's the creativeness you're going to have to see from Coastal today if they want to compete with all their starters, basically. Not playing.
Oh, yep. Mostly on the deep, a lot of starters not playing in the portal.
Absolutely. No. Let's pop up the Coastal offense after.
Yep.
As Tad Hudson takes the snap, gonna hand this off to Bennett again in that power formation. Gonna try to get 3 more yards, maybe 4, making it 3rd and 3. Very manageable.
So spanning back to the last drive, that's now 4 straight runs that Coastal has schemed. They have not passed. They have not passed since Duplessis got them into position to get a first down.
I don't think they'll be passing here again, as it is a wildcat formation again with Bennett behind the center in the shotgun. Gonna take the snap, fakes the pitch, and takes himself up the middle, and that's gonna move the chains as he gets 4 yards and only needed 3.
I love the creativity, like you mentioned before. You got to get creative now with all the amount of players we got in the portal, or Coastal has in the portal. So I love the creativity shown so far. I wait to see what they might have in store up their sleeve as the game goes on.
This is really where you prove your worth as a coach when you're missing all these players. How creative can you get?
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a Coastal is marching down the field right now.
As Tad Hudson now in shotgun again, takes the snap, gonna throw this backwards to Duplessis, who's looking deep for Bennett. And right in the hands. Oh my goodness, that's the creativity you want to see, and it should have worked out. Bennett couldn't reel it in though.
That was a dot from, I think it was Tucker,
That's Tucker?
sitting back there. Oh man, oh man.
I'm gonna say this, Caleb. You've heard this. Braden, Alex, if you're listening, watching that, you gotta catch that. You absolutely just have to. I know you're not. It's not a quarterback throwing that ball, but that was right in the basket for Bennett.
That's
right
in the
downfield.
breadbasket for sure. Oh my goodness, that was one of the best throws we've seen all year from a Coastal player.
He is frustrated with himself that he didn't catch that, and it was almost tipped up for an interception too.
Now Tad Hudson on the triple option, gonna keep it himself and get 4 yards maybe.
But I love how we were just talking about the creativity of the Coastal offense so far. I like that they just showed, and then they pull out a play like that.
Back to basics, I guess.
That's one that they're going to probably keep in their pocket for later on. They're like, okay, we see that coverage again. We're going to run that play again.
Coastal Carolina, notorious triple option school.
And hopefully with a different result.
Now you're not gonna run too many type plays like that, so you gotta capitalize when you have it, and Braden Bennett just could not squeeze it. But Tad Hudson in the shotgun on this 3rd and 5, gonna hand it off to Bennett, who's stumped instantly in the backfield by a UTSA's. That's number 5. We got, that is Martavius French.
Anthony Walton down there on the Coastal line took exception to that hit on Bennett. A little bit of frustration.
Starting to get a little chippy down there.
And back to the Braden Bennett. He dropped his arm at the last moment, kind of threw off the timing, his coordination. Bounced off the fingertips.
Hate to see it. And now the second punt here from Sabafundi. Receives the snap, puts it up, and this looks like it could be another good one. As we taked it into the end zone. Could have been. Oh, it is down. That's the one.
They're saying he got his feet down first.
Yeah, I guess if you don't carry that in college, it doesn't matter.
I guess so.
Down
We're a
where
little
it touched.
different.
Well, UTSA will have to go 99 yards, but we will figure out if they can after this break. You're listening to WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina Student Run Sports Network.
You didn't unmute yourself.
You're listening to WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina Student-Run Sports Network. As both teams take the field once again, UTSA's offense will have to go 99 yards. Let's take a look at Coastal's starting defense today. It should pop up at the bottom of the screen for you all as they look to maybe force a safety here against UTSA. They have to go about 99.2 yards. A power formation here. McCown shotgun now. Two tight ends. McCown now changing the play at the line, it looks like. That's high to his right. I hand it off to him. And he's met instantly in the hole and brought down at the 1. That was a huge play right there by Zamarian Gordon.
I think they're giving a little benefit of the doubt there. That looks like he was down at the half-yard line.
No, he got met immediately in that hole.
Oh, so he was met immediately. Good job on him to keep the legs churning, but he was not going anywhere.
I think he even bounced out to a secondary option and was still met with authority.
McCown takes the snap here, looking for his receiver. Can't find. As I think that was Gordon on the blitz.
Almost pulled a Dan Orlovsky there, walking out the back of the end zone, trying to avoid the sack. This Coastal defense, it really proven that, hey, we may be deflated. We may not have a lot of players.
10 from UTSA's 1-yard line. McCown looking to the sideline for the play call. The stands are getting real rowdy now. And McCown takes the snap. And
they won't get it off in time.
There is a delay of game. Back him up half a yard.
Technically, foul occurred in the end zone because McCown was standing in the end zone, and the delay of game goes on the quarterback. That should be a safety.
Literally an inch away from the goal line now. That is...
They said half the distance. There is no possible way to half that distance any more than it already is. They're on like the quarter yard line right there.
You have to pull out the index card.
Now, in the pistol here, McCown with High behind him.
Fans here already proven to be a factor, as the play clock's already down to 5 seconds.
And the fans really getting into this game early. McCown's going to hand this off the middle, and he's going to get loose a little bit, able to break through the first couple tackles, and brought down by the...
Going into just a great depth on this one.
We see Coastal's coaching staffs on the field looking for... So, we got 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls, one Barry Brown, and one on Hamar, Missouri. They offset. It will still be 4th and 1 and 3. So, they'll punt.
It'll be 4th and 10. Still behind. Oh, never mind. They just updated 4th and 4. My bad. I was looking at the board, not the ball.
I know. The board's a little slow today. Their hands are cold up there also, it turns out.
Yeah.
And first punt we'll see here from UTSA's... Nope, let me find this. Kel Hogan. He booms this one away. It's a little short, and it will roll right past our return man. And it hits off a Coastal player, and oh, it's loose. I think Coastal's was able to hop on that.
It looks like the original returner was able to hop onto that after. Oh, we got some more hand fighting. Some more pushing and shoving down there. And there's a flag thrown.
Stuff is getting chippy out here.
Yeah, I think that was Duplessis who was able to dive back onto that ball, but oh my goodness, that was almost awful.
It's looking like Coastal's going to be backed up just a little bit here after the play.
With how cold it is, everyone sees you running hot down there.
Yeah, tempers are flaring early.
Might get some more offsetting penalties here, or like you mentioned, Coastal will be backed up a little further.
Just waiting on the call right now. Yes, Chase Jackson gets hit with the unsportsmanlike conduct for Coastal Carolina. So they will start their drive at the 19 instead of the 34. So we will see what Coastal's offense can do. But let's take a look at UTSA's defense. They've been solid so far through today. Here across the bottom of the screen, there are your starters.
I'll say you mentioned the defense. Defense has really come out to play for the lineman. Redshirt senior.
Yeah, did a great job getting his hands up right there.
Those who are currently watching the broadcast, there is not 1:08 left. There is 2:51. I just forgot to stop the clock.
And now Coastal returns to the Wildcat. Bennett in shotgun, going to take the snap and keep it himself up the middle and nowhere to go as UTSA's whole defensive front just puts a halt to that play.
To Braden Bennett.
Number 1 on UTSA, Joe Evans, fired up after that one. Came crawling out of the pile. Bear crawling out of the pile.
Joe Evans.
Sorry, that was Donyai Taylor. Money back.
Here we go. 3rd and 10. Coastal is going nowhere on this drive as UTSA's band was getting into it. Hudson in shotgun. Bennett to his left. Now going in motion to the right. Gonna take the screen pass. Gets a couple blockers out in front of him. Makes a move on one defender, but tripped up and brought down. Gonna get 6 yards, but not enough.
He was so close to breaking that one. The guy that he had originally got past, got him with the shoestring tackle.
Just able to grab onto one of those knots.
Highly unfortunate for Coastal Carolina. It's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but tight on the outside. Is it Barong? Yeah, Kane Barong. Serving up some pancakes out there.
Who doesn't like a good pancake?
I know I do. I could sure use a nice warm pancake right now.
Some nice flapjacks. Well, Sabafundi will boom this one away again. Looking to continue his good punting today, and this one will be returned and tripped up instantly. On the return was Carpenter. He got about 5 yards on that return. Stopped at the 38.
That drive for Coastal Carolina really didn't go anywhere, and you can't really, say that you're surprised after they shot themselves in the foot with first of all, almost losing the ball on that punt. And then second of all, that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that did not need to happen. So you're already backing yourselves up a lot more. And it's starting to look like the further we get into this game, the more it looks like they're running the offense through Braden Bennett only.
Yep.
They haven't really given the ball much to anybody besides whoever. It was Tad Hudson touched the ball, Braden Bennett touched the ball, Jason Tucker touched the ball, and Duplessis touched the ball. That's it. I'll say the longest pass we've seen was from Duplessis on that trick play.
Absolutely, as McCown on this play was able to find his receiver downfield, David Amador.
Which is it's concerning because they have not allowed Tad to really throw the ball aside from the early in the game when we saw a little 5-yard slant route served on a rope.
And McCown takes the snap, fades the handoff, swings it out wide to his tight end. Couldn't be held on to. And 2nd and 10 now. Looking for Amador again right there.
Waning seconds here in the first quarter. Still knotted up 0-0.
Just 45 seconds on the clock.
If you love defense, this is the game for you.
The defense really showing up as UTSA is on Coastal side of the field for, I believe, the first or second time today. As McCown takes the snap, going to hand this one off to High up the middle as he lays a shoulder into one of the defenders, but gets brought down after a gain of 5.
It's only a matter of time before he breaks off one there. You could see flashes. We saw him on one of their first drive, on UTSA's first drive of the game. The little outside handoff got about a good 5-6 yards. They've just been chipping. Eventually, he's going to break one off here.
Here we go. Spread formation here as McCown takes the snap. Going to hand this off to High up the middle again, and a big hole opens up for him, and he gets cut down after a gain about 10. Think they cut him down in the end?
Teams on. Tobias Fletcher has been one of the strong guys back there at the DB position. He had 60 tackles this year and 35 solo tackles. Sitting next to Matthew McDoom. And actually, he had a pick 6 earlier in the year. Actually, the last game of the season, I believe, was against Georgia State.
Yeah, well, that also brings us to the end of the first quarter. As the score is knotted up at 0-0, UTSA will start the second at Coastal's 30-yard line. We'll see if anyone can break through this defensive slump. We'll be back after this break. You're listening to WCCU SN. Well, welcome back into WCCU SN's broadcast of the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I to his left takes the snap, looking for his receiver short on a quick slant, made some move, and is going to be brought down at the 12-yard line. A big gain of 20 right there, almost 18. That was Devin McCune on the catch.
Solid sophomore wide receiver. He had less yardage than his senior counterpart, but he also had more receptions and more touchdowns.
And they were in the hurry up as McCown handed that off too high for a gain of 3.
Very, very chilly